Good evening and welcome back. This is Smith Machine, and tonight we return to World in Flames 5th edition with Days of Decision 3 cobbled together with duct tape and chewing gum. We have gone through September, October of 1939, a turn that brought not the swift collapse that Germany wanted. Let's look at the map. There we are. It was the first hard evidence that this war may be longer, bloodier, and more expensive than anyone in Europe had hoped. Brussels has fallen after intense fighting, but those Belgians fought tooth and claw for their city. And there was savage house-to-house fighting, and in weather that turned victory into exhaustion. The Germans, if they get another victory like that, maybe they'll lose the war. Who knows? The Western offensive at this time is bogged in mud. France still stands with intact borders. Britain is fully in the struggle, and across the continent, governments are discovering that war on paper is one thing, war in the rain is another. In the air, the conflict has widened. German bombers struck France in the factories here. Strategic bombers, 4-engine bombers. We are seeing the first examples of what a modern air war can do. At sea, the U-boats began their work. In the North Sea, the Atlantic has reminded the democracies that even resources must now travel under threat. Diplomatically, the world remains unsettled. France has scored in Norway. The Anglo-French partnership remains frustratingly incomplete, as the ink cannot be finally signed in respective parliaments. And both Berlin and Moscow continue to weigh the advantages of a colder understanding. And as always, we begin with political affairs. And we have I have prepared the political bets. Let's just have a quick look at Asia before we dive into that. This is the situation. The Japanese are tightening the noose in China, but on the other hand, the Chinese lines are also tightening. Changsha still holds. And that is the first factory that the Japanese could possibly take, though it now has a confrontation from 4 different directions. Ooh, look at that. That unit should not be flipped. So who knows what might happen. We have tanks here in the south that could blitz across the plains, potentially. But again, we have stiffening Chinese resistance, which has been bolstered by and large until this point by British funding. But I don't know how much British funding there might be forthcoming in the near future, given the war in Europe. The Britons need to deal with matters close at home. So, last time the Commonwealth tried to go for 2 options at once. It failed because France rolled an end of the turn. Let's see what bets are being made this time. Okay. Russia is bidding 9 points. Plus 1, that comes to 10. Commonwealth is bidding 6 points, plus, but only 6 points. This time it's not going to be a double. Plus 3 is also a 9, and the Commonwealth has the political initiative before the Soviets. Germany bids 4, plus 4 gets to an 8. 9 plus 1 should be a 10, shouldn't it? And 6 plus 3 is a 9. So, yeah, that's how it should be. Yes, sorry about that. The Soviets first, then the Commonwealth, and then the Germans, and then the US, which have frustratingly been trying to get a gear up going, are still not geared up. They've tried every single turn this year so far. Maybe the last turn of the year will be the charm. 6 points they bet, plus 2 from their position, gives them an 8 in total. And because Germany and the US both have bid 8 points, it's going to be decided by their political efficiency first, which is advantage Germany. So they will go before the US. Italy bids 4, plus 2, gives them a 6. France bids a 1 only, which means that we're not going to see an Anglo-French cooperation deal this time, probably. because also because the Commonwealth needs to declare war on Germany. They still haven't done so formally. So a 1 plus a 3 is 4. Actually, that looks to me like the French will... No, because the Italians have... Let's see now. Italians have 6, yes. And then we have Japan at a 2 and China at a 1. So this will be the order. With the Soviets going first this time. Commonwealth going second. The Americans are just stuck on place number 4. They have wasted so much money on this, which is probably not a good idea. They should just get a really big bid out or just lay low until they can get one. On the other hand, statistically, we should have had a long turn by now. So the fact that they haven't been able to gear up is really them getting shafted by RNGs in this game, clearly. But the Soviets will go first this time, and they will bid what? Let's see now. Oh yes, Major Power Pact presented. Just because they're committed to destroy us does not mean they're not our friends. The Soviets are suggesting a non-aggression pact with Berlin. Proposed level 1 treaty. The Soviet government has moved to propose a formal understanding with Germany, offering a pact intended to regulate relations between the two powers at a moment when Europe's war is spreading and the map of Eastern Europe hangs in the balance. Moscow's move is widely read as one of calculation rather than sentiment. The Kremlin has watched Germany's victories, losses, and overextensions with close attention, and now appears determined to secure its own freedom of action while preserving the option to move elsewhere when the time is judged right. No one in Europe will mistake the proposal for friendship. It's a cold instrument offered in a colder season by two regimes that distrust one another, but may still find advantage in postponing the final reckoning. Of course, France and the United Kingdom are very upset with this because, let's face it, they want the Soviets in on the war to do a repeat of the Great War. But let's face it, the Soviets do not have the troops, the manpower, the economy to sustain such an effort at this time. They do, however, get to activate a minor country. And the question is which one? Finland might be the best bet for them right now. We don't want to activate Turkey because that's going to move them closer. Or is it? Let's see. Is there any way I can use this, manipulate this so that we can move Turkey to a less precarious position? We have a -2 to France. France is over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. Okay, so it's basically there. This costs 3 points, so that's not going to help. Nah, I don't know. +3 to Germany would just move it closer to Germany in ways we don't like. -1 to the Soviet Union. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, we can't really move it in a way that is pleasing. We want to have some more pluses or negatives to get a better deal on that. Let's see, what else do we have? Persia, -2, +2. Where's Persia right now? Persia is smack dab in the middle. We could activate Persia just to make sure that it stays neutral. On the other hand, I'm not sure we want that either. Romania has a -1 to Germany, which would move Romania nowhere. That's not going to help anyone. What do we have? Spain needs 1 more point against Germany to move. Otherwise, it will not. Yugoslavia has a potential to move somewhere and is a Soviet ally. It would move 2 steps. Let's see now, -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So up here somewhere, it would end up somewhere. Yeah, Finland. I think we're gonna go with Finland because -2 Finland. Where would that go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it could move over there, which will, at the very least, keep it outside the fascist sphere. So let's do that. The Molotov goes on a state visit to Helsinki to guarantee to the Finns that they have absolutely nothing to worry about. The Soviet troops on the border are just there for drilling. Yep, drilling after oil. No, maybe not. It's just an exercise. That is all it is. Okay, for once, let's see now, we need to adjust bid points here. We have spent 9. So that gives us, it was a 29, right? 21. So 12 left. And now we'll see if the turn ends immediately, the way it has been doing so many times. Let's go. Boom. The turn does not end. That was a close one. If I had rolled a 2, it would have ended. The Commonwealth will get to play its option, and it's unsurprisingly going to be a declaration of war on Germany, because that is something the Commonwealth has to do. The Commonwealth has bid 6 bid points, which was exactly all the bid points it had. It has -1 money at the moment. It declares war on a major power, which is 8 money. That's a lot of money. Had to be done. So -9. Had to be done. And we are going to do adjustments of US entry, of course. So let's have a look at the total effects of this. The combined effects of declaring war, like so. War, 1939. It's a 5 US entry. And it is another 12 here, so that's 17. It gets to 18, in fact, because the US has, in fact, vetoed the Neutrality Act. So 18 extra to the Commonwealth puts us at a 48 in total. I have an Excel sheet. That helps me. So there we go. 48 in total to the Commonwealth. That will shift the effective US entry to Germany to 23. Italy is a -19. And Japan is a 21. And the Soviets still a -14. So that reduces the tension in the world a bit. Clearly, the Allies can handle affairs in Europe on their own. On the other hand, the US is 1/4 on the way to war. All right, let's have a look here. Belgium is kaput, no longer in the game, so Belgium cannot be affected by this. Czechoslovakia is no longer in the game. It's kaput, can no longer be affected by this. We don't want, you want Germany. There we go. Austria doesn't exist. -2 to the Baltic states, apparently. Okay. I'm still not sure why I'm keeping track of the Baltic states, to be honest. They're there, and sooner or later someone's going to swallow them up and declare war on them and all that sort of thing. So, for the sake of completeness in that case, I don't know. Ask my autistic brain. To Germany. Belgium doesn't exist. Bulgaria does exist. No reaction. Czechoslovakia doesn't exist. Denmark doesn't exist. Finland does exist. That is a -2. Finns take exception to this. They do not like to see the spread of war. Greece, -1 as well. Some rumblings in Athens. Nothing that can remove Greece from its true neutral status. Hungary, a -2. Wait, yeah, that's true. Hungary, a -2. Yeah, if anyone was wondering where Hungary is going to go, it is not in the Allied camp. I think it's hard for Germany to not gain Hungary as a minor ally in this game. Iraq, nothing. Ireland, yes, a -2. Because it's the Commonwealth doing something, and that is never popular on this Emerald Isle. So now there's a -4 to the Commonwealth. That's what it's called, right? I think it's what it's called. England is the green and pleasant land, and Ireland is the Emerald Isle, if I recall correctly. Where's Ireland now? Oh, it can end up in the Axis camp now, if someone wants to activate it. I don't know that Ireland has a whole lot of troops and such, but it could be funny. Germany, to Ireland, we did. Hungary, Iraq, Ireland. Netherlands doesn't exist anymore. Norway does exist, and that is a -2. Just generally negative sentiment here from most powers. Most minor countries. Which is maybe not so surprising. Let's see. Norway. Persia does not exist on this, but it does react on that. So +1 to Persia. Persia likes this, and that is going to be enough to move Persia out of the central neutral locations with a +3. Look at that. And another -2 can move it 2 steps. That could be interesting for the Allies. Resources are always welcome. Let's see, what else do we have? Persia. Poland is a +2, +2, that's +4, but Poland is also gone, so kaput. Poland. Portugal, +2. Nothing there, so it's a straight +2. Portugal already has a +1. That's going to give us another +3. Portugal is already allied to the Commonwealth, the oldest alliance in the world, dating back to the Middle Ages, 1300 and something, if I recall correctly. Through thick and thin. Don't know how many times that alliance has been invoked for war purposes, though. Poland, Portugal, Romania -2, Romania +1. That is a Romania -1 in total. That means movement. Or at least reaction, if not movement. -1 to Germany, -1 to the Commonwealth. Germany, Romania, we did. IM doesn't care. Spain is a +1. Okay, Spain is a +1. Spain is a +1. Spain has a -1. No modifiers at all at the moment. Very well. Germany. What else do we have? Sweden. Oh, Siam is a +1 as well. Look at that. It's the opposite reaction from what the French did. It's not going to affect Siam a whole lot, but maybe a little bit. I don't think so, because I think Japan is allied with Siam at this point. I need to look at that again. Sweden -1. Let's see now. Sweden -1. That's a -2 to Sweden as well. Looks like all the Nordic countries are unanimous in their display here. Sweden is in fact here, so that's not too good for the democracies. We're not going to activate them right now. Turkey a -1. Turkey a -2. Ooh, that's a -3 in total. That's not so good. Turkey, that is terrible. That's going to be enough to get Turkey on side with Germany. Then Germany just needs to ally Turkey, and then there's going to be a big problem for the Allies. And join them in and all that. -2, -1, yeah. And finally Yugoslavia +1, that is +2 in total. And Yugoslavia has no modifiers at all at the moment from the Commonwealth, so there we go, and it's going to be flipped to a +2. So, what do we want to do with all this? We ask ourselves. Can we avoid making Turkey a German active minor? It's not impossible, is it? And we have the Commonwealth here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can move it away, like down here. 10, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is 10 as well as that is. So I can't move it out here, which is really annoying, because there is no AA. That's AA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, no. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. No. So there is room to move it that way. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. -3, 1. Ah, okay, so we can start 1, 2. That's as far as we're going to get with this one, because we don't have enough points to move it outside there yet. 1, 2, let's see now. F. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, right? 1, 2, yeah, I think that works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that is moving further away from France. And then we have the +3 to Germany, and it's gonna step back in again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. There. And now a +3 to Germany moves it there. That's... moving inside it costs 1 point. Yeah, that's where we're going to end up, isn't it? So, through some very skilled diplomacy on the British part here, the Turkish government will actually move, while still inside the paternalist, monarchist and the Axis faction, it will move a little bit away from Germany, which might be enough to delay a Turkish entry on the German side for the time being, at least. Alright. That was the Commonwealth turn. Let's see if others get to do anything. And I roll a 1! I just roll a 1! Again! I don't know how I do this all the time. How do I do this all the time? I just roll out the political turns. It's just nuts, isn't it? Germany did not get to respond to the Soviet proposal. And once more, the US don't get to gear up. It's actually ludicrous how RNG has been treating this year. I don't think there's been a single turn with more than 3 max powers who had the chance to do anything. Big holes in various pockets for many powers and so little accomplished. Okay. Germany had -6 money, spent 4 money this impulse, this turn, to get to do anything. Is going to get a whole bunch of bid points though. Specifically 5 as a comforter for not having gotten anything done. France bid 4. No, France bid 1. And that is out of the money box, and they will get 4 bid points, I believe. I think they have 4 political effectiveness by now. Yes, they do. France as a politically effective country. How about that? The US, as always, just absolutely robbed by these rolls. It's crying in a corner somewhere because of all this. And that is as far as it goes. -7 for the US. It's just absolutely bankrupting itself trying to get this gear up done, and Congress is just absolutely locked. And no, we can't do that. Nope, not yet. Absolutely not. Italy bid 4 points. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Did not get to do anything. Gets 3 back. The Soviets, we've already adjusted. Did not get the non-aggression pact passed. Just you have to go first in this game apparently to get anything done. Japan bid the 1, didn't get to do anything. Has 2 effectiveness plus 1 net. China nothing, of course. And I think that is it for all of these various countries. Yeah, Commonwealth declared war on Germany. Britain formalizes war with the Reich. The British government has formally declared war on Germany, transforming mounting alarm, military preparation, and active resistance into full legal belligerency after the Reich's assault on the Low Countries and the widening of the continental conflict. The step carries immense political weight, though few in Britain will regard it as surprising. Germany's advance through Poland, Denmark, the Netherlands and Belgium has left London little room for hesitation, and the government has concluded that ambiguity now serves only the aggressor. Britain ends the struggle openly, not in hope of a short war, but in sober recognition that Europe has already crossed the threshold from crisis into catastrophe. And apparently the German and Soviet negotiators cannot quite agree on the details of this non-aggression pact. One would think it would be easy to just say, yeah, we're not going to fight each other. But nope. So we go into a reinforcement stage for November, December. And there's going to be some troops coming in here. We have some Chinese. We have Siberian Infantry Corps. The army, actually, 4th Guard Army in the Soviet Union. We have the hull of the aircraft carriers Shokaku and Zuikaku that will be put into the construction pool. Yep. We have 1 Italian transport, and we have the headquarter Yamashita joining the Japanese war effort. So we're going to take this Italian transport and put it on Taranto, maybe? That is where we usually put everything Italian. Let's put all of this onto the map as well. We have... This is Siberian, so obviously a Siberian hasn't turned up in Siberia, right? But I can't put it in Vladivostok, so I'm going to put it in Irkutsk. I'm not even sure the Siberians are allowed to leave Siberia until the Soviets are at war with a major power. Germany. We have Yamashita. I'm going to put him here so he's closer to the air transport. And we have 2 Chinese infantry armies coming in. Where do we want those? You know, it would be pretty brilliant to have them, at least one of them. So if we put the 3-2 down here in Kunming, we could put the other one. We can't because we don't have the... But it would be nice to be able to shorten the lines here a little bit, shore up the communist defense. So getting some nationalists back into Xi'an might not be a bad idea. To do that, however, I guess I'll just put this thing in Chongqing for now. Chongqing, as it is known in Mandarin Chinese. Chongqing. Okay, that is the reinforcements on that side. November, December, we get ourselves a French battleship group, the Océan and the Courbet. It's not a very impressive battleship group, honestly. We get some destroyer hulls for the US. There's a lot of destroyer hulls lying in the construction pool now. I think we can start actually building destroyers. We're getting Canadian fighters and British tactical bomber, as well as Australian infantry. And we have 3 new corps coming in for the Germans. So let's distribute all of this to the maps, shall we? So the Australians will obviously come in Australia. That's the nature of that particular beast. Where do we want them? We can squeeze them into Darwin. Darwin, a city of 5,000 people, now has probably more military personnel than anything else, like a full fighter group and 2 infantry corps. That is gonna be the busiest that city has ever been. You would know this if you played Call of Cthulhu and certain stories and adventures in Call of Cthulhu, because there is a Darwin connection. The Canadian fighter group will come in Canada, not surprisingly. The tactical bomber will certainly come in the UK. And London is already filled, the airfield, so we will have to put the tactical bomber somewhere else. We could put it in Birmingham. That works. Also could put it in Southampton. That works too. Then we have the French battleship group here. We will put that in Brest, apparently, because that's where everybody else is. And then we have a whole bunch of German stuff, which is infantry and tank corps. Let's see, we have a 7-4, we have a 5-3. Interesting, yeah. We have a 6-4, we have a 7-4, and a 7-4. A couple of white prints here, which is lovely. There's only so much space for German troops. So let's put these guys in Düsseldorf. A 6-4 here. I guess we could put in Bremen. So I guess that is it for now. Alright. I can't believe that I just rolled out that political initiative again. It's insane. Initiative for this November-December turn is 5 for the Axis, a 3 for the Allies. Allies do not have a reroll, so it's Axis initiative. Again. However, let's see what the weather will be, because it could be anything from super clear to horrible winter. And we roll a 6 on that. That's going to be something extreme, isn't it? We had September, October, -1, so it's a 5, which means that our weather roll is 5 for November, December. Winter in the Arctic Circle, mud in the Arctic, clear in the temperate zone, which is a boon for the Germans, mud in the Mediterranean, and then clear in subtropical and north monsoon. 3 steps for every impulse. It's not the best weather the Germans could get, but it's close enough. 2 attacks possible in China, which is something that the Japanese will definitely appreciate. Okay then. So that is what we got right now. Yeah, I think the Italians are just basically passing for the most part, because they have all the transports they could ever want now. Some of these will become convoys when the time is right. But they are lacking a land army, so they will definitely have to build that. But there isn't a whole lot for them to do otherwise, because they're not at war with France, and they are not really planning to go to war with France right now, because again, no land army here. If they went to war with France, they could do so without going to war with the Commonwealth. If they went to war with the Commonwealth, they could do so as well, but would they want to? Because the Commonwealth is going to be able to focus pretty exclusively on them in that case, even though the Commonwealth just declared war on Germany. Also, mud in the Mediterranean is a terrible time to go to war with anyone. So, yeah, let's start with Germany here. What do we have here that we can use to do anything against... I think Germany's going to start with the land. Not very surprising. And I don't think we want the headquarters can move this turn. I don't think we want the 5-3 paratrooper here. So we're going to move the 5-3 out of here. 1, 2, 3. So we are going to move the 5-3, the regular, in there. And this 5-4 in here together with the 8-6 tanks. And why not Rommel up there? No, wait. Rommel can go down here. That's 2 steps. We have Manstein, 1, 2, 3. And Kesselring can go here. So this allows us to... do I want to do... Gee, now we come to the question of ground strikes again. See, I need to see... in a tactile way where my troops go. I'm supposed to do the ground strike before I do the land movement, but I need to figure things out. Attacking into Antwerp seems silly because it's an assault, right? This is better. This is also an assault, but it is 11. So 14 plus 15, and it's 29, which is not terrible. But it's 29 against 11. 29 against 11. We want 33, obviously, so some Stuka cover there would be great. Also, getting... You know what? I do think that we want to have... What do we have here? We have transports... Oh, these are from over here. Oh, the rest of our Stukas are over there. Yeah, that makes sense. So a ground strike right now, we could go here to try to ground strike these people. It's just a 2 to succeed. The French have a lot of air force, like all of it. So they would go up and intercept that, of course. And we will intercept the interception. So that will be a very even fight. Wait, are we going to intercept the interception with these guys? Or are we going to do it with this guy? 1, 2, 3, 4. Just out of range. So no, not that guy. Okay, we'll have to do it with these folks here. So that is 5 plus... Yeah, it's 6 versus 6. Even! That's not how it's supposed to be in France, said the Germans. Let's see what that does. Okay, we roll. Ground strike, attack, air battle. The fighters are going up against each other in the sky. It's a 7 versus a 7. It's exactly the same result, both ways. Okay. Defender clears through, which means that all these fighters climb to the skies, or I guess they just miss each other completely. The French can't find, the Germans can't find. The French, the bombers have no idea why there are no... And when the French fighters come back to the ground, this batch is going to have their hides for not being able to see where the Germans actually were. The Germans are quite pleased with the fact that they have taken absolutely no losses against the French Air Force so far, and that continues to be the case. The British, of course, would love to be able to help out and intercept, but they cannot because they don't have that level treaty yet. So that is just how that goes. This is Liège, so we can squeeze in the tactical bomber there as well. Okay, let's see if the tactical bombing does anything. Shh, boom, shh, boom. Yeah, I need sound effects here, guys. Okay, some bombings against French positions in this city, and that is 1 fail, and it is 1 success, in fact. So, let's see now. We have the Algerian troops in the city of Lille are disrupted by the Stuka bombings. That gives a +1 on any attack there. If we are going to make an attack here, though, it's going to be an assault table attack. We don't have any better than that. Let's see. Ground strike, aircraft rebase phase. Let's definitely rebase some aircraft. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. The rest of the Stuka are on the way. Also, we want to move Brunstedt forwards, right? He was stuck here for a full turn because of the mud. I can move him to Hanover so he doesn't get stuck in the mud again. I think I want to exchange 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Wait, that's as far as he gets because there's +1 to movement, right? I think going across the straight, isn't there? Straight side. Yeah, +1. So started there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one was here. This one will go there. 1, 2, 3, 4 to Amsterdam. And we don't have any infantry or anything else, any backup in Liège at all. So let's get some troops in there. I might want 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Can move the 5-3 to Aachen. 1, 2, 3, 4. These guys would be lovely to have in the west as well. I need worse infantry out here. We'll get there. Rundstedt has moved. We have moved there. Okay, so now let's calculate a possible attack on Lille, which is a red factory as well. Mostly because I don't have 2 hexes here, because here I would be able to do a blitzkrieg, but yeah, can't do that against Lille because it's a city. But I only have the 1 hex on them here, so they have a good fortress up in Antwerp, they have a good fortress in Lille. This is also a city, so that's also an assault. This would be a blitzkrieg, possibly, but there are units behind here. That means that we can't exploit any openings we can get. So the classic route that Germany did in real life will not work here with blasting through the Ardennes. 3 to 1 on the assault table with a +1. Even if I get this guy here, we have 3 to 1. But he wouldn't have any air cover, would he? So that's a terrible idea. We'll have to wait until we can rebase. Or instead of rebasing the Stuka, I rebase... Is this a city? Yes, it is. This guy over here. And now we can get the air cover we need here for this guy here. But I only have the 4, and they still have... Yeah, that's French air superiority by far. We might not do an attack at all. Can we afford that on a clear turn? No, we cannot. Okay. So 3 to 1. Manstein could get it up to 4 to 1 with HQ support. But this is risky here. So I would have 14 plus 15. 29. Yeah. Plus 5. 34. Now it's 3 to 1. 4 to 1 provided that Manstein can provide the support. Which should work because it's 1 to 5. 4 to 1 with a +1 on the assault table. I need... It's a 50-50 chance that we actually get the city, but the breakthrough is not going to happen. We can get a shattered and remain unflipped, that's a 1 in 3. We're not going to lose 2 units. Ugh. This is like the worst. But we have a shot here at breaking through before the Commonwealth can sign a treaty and land a bunch of British troops here. So if this is happening, we definitely have to have some air combat, because the French are not just going to let this be. So I guess that's going to be a +1 for the French. Which is not how it's supposed to be, said the pilots of the German Luftwaffe, but here we are. Okay, that's a 9 for the Germans, a 6 for the French. The 6 for the French is on a +1. Attacker clears through, so that was the worst. And a 9 for the -1 is nothing. Okay, that is basically what happened before on the same location. The French aircraft cannot figure out what's going on, apparently. Where do we put these guys? Put one of them back here in Metz. Now I only have the 3 left. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. So this one clears through. The French will obviously send up their own. Look at this. I completely forgot about that. I don't want to do this attack as Germany. Look at that. Yeah, no. There's way too much tactical bombing capacity here for Germany to do any of this. Scrap that attack completely. We are not going to attack here. Revise and resubmit, as reviewer number 3 would say. Now review number 2. Academic joke for those who are in the know. Yeah, because this storm here, that's 6, that's 11 extra support for the city, and that would just crush the 4-1 down to a, what, 11 plus 11, so instead of a 34 versus 11, we'd have 24, so it's 1 to do as 2-1. That's just terrible. We need to shoot down some of these French bombers, quite simply. That's what we need to do before we can seriously grapple with the French here. Also, Germany needs an offensive chit to get across. I hate to say that this is an opportunity that we're going to lose, but okay, this is 10 in defense, but there's 1 river here, so that's 8 in attack there, and that's 15. That's 23, and then we have all these tactical bombers again. Okay, that is disappointing for Germany. Gonna need to think on this. Not enough air force to deal with the tactical bombers. I absolutely do not want to do a 1-to-1 into a city kind of a thing. Yeah. It's a brutal situation because of the French Air Force, isn't it? I could gamble, but that would still be a gamble that would be like the 4 would have to shoot down so many of these that it's just not likely to succeed, and then we bleed more. So let's just hold off on the attack for now, as much as I hate to admit it. Let's go over to Japan. Always a combined here in Japan. We have ground strike, and it's temperate zone, subtropical zone. What kind of a weather do we have in the subtropical zone? Subtropical zone, we have clear weather in the subtropical zone. Okay, so what kind of attack can we carry out? Japan has 3 moves to make. But first a ground strike, and let's face it, Changsha is right there. 9 in defense. It's not going to be Blitzkrieg because we do not have... It's a city. So that's going to be 12 plus 12, 24 plus 10. We can actually squeeze in more here. Plus 10, that is 34 plus 7. 41. 41 against 9. See, that's the odds we want. That's 4 to 1. That is definitely worth doing something about it. Okay, so combined, we don't have any land troops that need to be moved at the moment. By sea transport, that's next here. Naval movement, no. Grenade bombardment phase, no. Ground strike phase. Okay, so let's go. The key, what is it? Key 32s will strafe Changsha, and we need 2s. The Chinese do not have any air force. Let's roll the first one. That's a miss, and the second one is also a miss. Okay, the glorious day of the Japanese air support is yet again over. I'll put him there. Flip. They missed everything in Changsha. That's our new Captain Kenji, our new pilot, as it were. Okay. He tried to hit things. He didn't do any significant damage. Aircraft rebase phase. You know what? That is a good question. I don't think I'm going to rebase this guy this time. Because look, even if Yamashita I need him, there is also paratroopers here that I can make things even more interesting with. Strategic movement phase then. That is railroading stuff. Do I need to railroad these guys anywhere? Oops. Why did that happen? Just flying away like that. I could railroad something up to Taiyuan, I guess. Can't railroad anything into Wuhan because that is already a city with lots of people in it. Maybe to Nanjing. That's one railroading. Why am I not just using all of my capacity here? Let's go. Roll a 1. That's a miss. Roll a 1. Nope. Okay. The entire Japanese Air Force has been out and found wanting. Okay. So now comes the ground movement, right? And we do not particularly need the 4-5 here. We only have 3 moves, if you will recall, because it's a combined. We're gonna move 1 like that, 2 like that. Maybe 3 like that. Just to move into the subtropical zone here. Oh, we could move something maybe like that. Yep, that is something we can do. And this means that we have an army to kill off if needed. So that's 3 moves. And now we have 10 plus 13 plus 12. That is 47 altogether against 9. That is 5 to 1. And that's without using the paras. So let's not use the paras this particular moment. 5 to 1, no bonuses of any kind. Very sad. We could try to shift it up to 6 to 1, which is pointless on the assault table, isn't it? Yep, it's pointless. So, yeah, it's just a banzai charge with all the Japanese corps around Changsha here. Sergeant Sato never lived to see it. But maybe some of his old comrades will remember him. as they go into the breach and roll a 6, which is exactly what they wanted. 6 on a 5-1 is 2 dead and shattered the rest, and the Japanese are not even flipped. This is a catastrophic result for China, of course. 2 armies destroyed in Changsha, and the Japanese are not even flipped. Shijima will move in. This means that the Chinese are losing a factory for the first time. The Japanese are not gaining one because it's a black factory. Can't be used by enemies. So that is very troublesome for the Chinese indeed, and now Chang is in some dire straits here and will need to get out of the way basically. I don't know how the Chinese are going to hold this particular hex here. We'll have to think on that. Is probably all I can say. Because they only have 2 moves, right? On the other hand, this hex can only be attacked from 1 hex here, so there are options. Okay. Do I still not want to go through with this attack here? No, I don't. It's just gonna lead to a lot of blood for no gain at all. But if I don't do it, how much harder will it be in a couple of turns when it's no... Because it's like now or never, isn't it? The winter is now. I have an idea for how to handle some of this. We'll see. We'll see. And that's the first Allied impulse right there. First Axis impulse, I should say, right there. And let's go to the Allied impulse. The Chinese have 2 moves to make. 2 moves to make. That's all. They do need to plug some holes here. If we move these 2 guys away from here, then the Japanese will have 11 plus 4 plus... That's 5, so that's 9. 9 plus 11 is 20. That's 4-1. Whatever I do here is going to be bad. If I surrender the forest hex, I get better defensive positions in the mountains. But then Chang will be exposed from 2 hexes. But 1 is across a river, so it's not terrible. So I can do this and this. That is not ideal at all, because the Japanese have another attack to conduct this turn. But they have spent their air force. They can use their paras. Ugh. So we have 13 there. And then we can add more. Like another 10. So that's going to be 18 against 5. That's 3-1 there. It's going to be Chang who's going to take the brunt of it. Definitely. But Chang is an HQ and can actually shift down the odds if he's a little bit lucky. I think that's basically all that China can do right now. Just evacuate this hex, play for this better defensive position, and hope for the best. Meanwhile, in the west, there are submarines, German submarines. They can't get very far. They can get here. We have a transport right here, ready to take some stuff overseas. What do we want more? Fighters or infantry? We have infantry already there, so let's just take the fighter here. 1, 2, 3. I can put Liverpool. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, like so. Port to port. And there are now some Canadians and fighters in Liverpool that can protect the British skies from attacks on Newcastle and whatnot. Of course, that could happen before as well. So this is apparently a naval, I think I'm doing. We have New Zealanders here. They will go 1, 2, 3. And I guess we can just land them in Suez like that. So now we have some New Zealanders in Egypt. We have some Canadian fighter pilots. This is the Empire coming to the rescue of Europe, as it were. That 7-4 New Zealander is pretty dynamite. The French. We have 3 hexes on Brussels, but I don't think that's going to be enough. 14, because you have also that one there, so it's 19 in defense in theory. 12 plus 11 plus 1 flipped. So that's 23. That's terrible odds. Let's not do that. And what we could try to do, but I don't think we want to do that. These guys are excellent for defensive purposes, and I see no reason whatsoever to take them out and fly with them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, these guys can reach to defend this hex. They cannot reach to defend that hex. Nor can they reach to defend that hex. Is it the case that we're gonna have to go through Antwerp after all with Germany? Like, we could get something going with German forces here. Anyway, the British will, of course, sortie at least some fleet. Let's go. We have some Royal Oak. We might as well bring the home fleet here this way. I might keep those guys there. Yeah, always bring a destroyer in case of naval attack, because then you can lose the destroyer instead of something more precious. So the Glorious, the Hermes, the Eagle, they're out there. That means that they can do ground strikes on things along the coast, which of course I think they should. I don't see any reason for any other warships to go out at the moment. We're waiting for the submarines to deploy so we can see where we need the defenses. But we can definitely go out with these guys. It's a 1 and a 1, really, because this is halved for going from a carrier to land, and then halved again for being a ground strike. Can you even do ground strikes during a naval? I don't think so. So maybe we'll have to wait with that until next impulse. But they're out there. They can do their thing. And I think that is basically it for now. We don't have these transporting things from Australia and New Zealand to Europe takes a long time. Who would have thunk it? Much faster going across the Atlantic. So that is basically it for the Allies. As much as it is clear weather, we just don't have enough forces to do an effective counterattack. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. We have second impulse for the Axis. The Japanese again, let's have a look. They can move things into the forest south of Xi'an, getting them 3 hexes on Xi'an now. That one can't actually go there without getting flipped though, because it's a forest. This one can go. So I could move the 6-3 as well. Not a bad idea. That's 2 moves. Okay, we're gonna rail this guy to Taiwan. There we go. So now I have 7 plus 13 against 5. That is 4 to 1. Yeah, that will not help. Okay, I should not have used this airplane last impulse against Changsha, because it would have made the difference now here. Because I need 5 factors, not just 4, so the paratrooper is not going to help. Okay, that means that we are going to do, with the aircraft rebase, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That gets to Korea. And then next impulse it will get over there and can start transporting Yamashita across the ocean. So yeah, we would have 4-1 on the attack here. Chang will be used as HQ support to lower the odds, and I guess Ushijima can be used to increase the odds in return. So let's see, Chang, this is the first time we're using HQ support here. Let's see what Chang can do. It's a blue die, and it's a success. Okay, so instead of 4-1, we now have 3-1. And Ushijima rolled a 5, so that is not going to be a success. So we have 3-1 on the assault table. Chang is helpful. Okay. 3-1 on the assault table on that hex. Let's go. And it's a 1! Oh, that is as good as things were last turn. They are now as bad. Last impulse, they are now as bad this impulse. Should have attacked somewhere else, but this was the softest target, really, it was. Should have moved this to get the Blitzkrieg. Then I wouldn't have had those odds. Anyway, shoulda, woulda, coulda. 1 on the assault table on a 3-1 is 1 lost for the Japanese and nothing for the Chinese. Chang is, of course, flipped. He has done heroics this time to avoid a calamity for China, and Japan has lost. So Ushijima was trying to undo Chang's plans and failed, and we have 1 dead Japanese infantry army. The 12th army is 6-3, pretty decent white print, and everybody else is flipped, and that is the final attack that Japan can do on this November-December turn. So, yep, Hata can reorganize this unit here, the Kwantung Army, but that's not going to help a whole lot. Umetsu can reorganize this unit, the 4-3 that was railed, so it can take up position along the line against the communists, but again, it's not gonna be enough. So China stands another day. I was fully expecting to see the hole here, but no, not yet. Alright, Germany is gonna do a combined. We do need to get some submarines out there to mess with the British, don't we? We have 5 submarines here that can mess with the British. Unfortunately, there's a lot of British. There's a lot of British. So 1, 2, 3. We're going up into the North Atlantic, passing by everything, hoping to be able to do something there. Don't know how much that will accomplish. We need better submarine bases. Oh, look at this guy. He's supposed to be like there, isn't he? No, wait. He was going south. He was going down to the rock. That's where he was going. There he is. Yeah. Forgot about that little fella. Okay, so that is 1 naval move for the Germans. We can also do a strategic bombing. Let's go. We have strategic bombers. We have 1 escort fighter. I'm not even sure that I'm going to use the escort fighter, to be honest. Which is a bit risky, but look at these guys. They have 4, 5, 6 at best, if they commit their entire fighter reserve. So let's bomb Strasbourg again. 1, 2, 3, 4, because I can't reach Paris. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can reach Reims, but I cannot reach Lille, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I can reach Lille. All the bombings is happening at Lille, apparently. But why would I want to bomb Lille? Because it's a red factory. I want Lille as a red factory. So let's put them guys here. Strategic bombing. And of course, we will go up with some French Air Force, because we can't have that. So this is going to be a bit risky for the Germans. Germans have 6 in defense against 5 for the French attacking. But we have strategic bombers, so why not use them? let's go. There we go, rolling. 4 and 11. Okay, this is going to be dramatic. Whatever happens. We have 6 here against 5, so it's a +1 for the Germans. Germans roll a 4 on a +1. Attacker aborts, so that means front fighter or bomber. They do not have a bomber, so the front bomber is fighter is going home. Taka 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 taka. Battles over the French guy, and the French rolled on a -1. They rolled an 11. That's gonna be bad. That is DX, Defender Destroys. So, Defender destroys one of the bombers. This is a very expensive bomber. This one is going to be destroyed. It's not the front bomber, but it's a strategic bomber, and that is 6 points for Germany. That is just cut down by the French Air Force. And the fight is not over yet. Now, Germany has +2, and France is -2. The fight continues. And this seems very indecisive. 7 for the French on a -2. Defender clears through. Okay. And what was the plus? No, it was 7 for. It was 8 for the French on a -2. 8. Attacker clears through. So yeah, the bomber comes through, and then it was a 7, so defender clears through, which is nothing. So the French Air Force survives the day. Clearly better off. The bombers return to Aachen, and they have been cut in half. And 5 factors get through to attack the Strasbourg factories, which is not a lot. I think that was very good in the long run for France. They have effectively neutralized the threat of the strategic bombers, the German strategic bombers. The 5 is 1 build point lost for France. So even though there's definitely damages in Strasbourg, again, they've hardly rebuilt the whole thing, that is still a positive outcome, I think. So that was a strategic bombardment. These guys are worth 7 times 3, 24. 21. That's a lot. That's a lot. The only place I see through here is this place, and with all these bombers here, it's gonna be hard. I am thinking on whether I should withdraw the 8-4 infantry. I have a 5-3 Fallschirmjäger that I could add to this place. Let's do some calculations again. I'm not going to do another ground strike there. There's no point, because we've already struck as much as we could. We have to calculate that they get full defense from their air force, so 11 plus 11 is 22 in defense. If I move like this, and this is solely done to be able to lose some crap units like 5-3s, because I'm expecting losses here. So 12. Do I have any better tanks? I do have better tanks, but not by much. An 8-6 is not going to make a whole heck of a difference, but why not? So that's 4 moves out of the 6 I get. I can move Kesselring over there, so he can reorganize whatever is remaining after this horrifying ordeal. That's a 7. 13. I get 2 to 1, but that's not going to be enough. So this is still the better option. 11. So what do we say? 14 plus 13 plus possibly 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus another 5 from the Stuka. That's 37. Against 22 is still 1-to-1. Now that's provided that all the French Air Force gets through. I'll have a slight advantage because they only have the 3 left, but not by much. It's really wasteful and costs a lot of money to do this. I think we should sit tight. Rundstedt can keep marching forward slowly. So that's 5 moves. 6 with this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. An aircraft should be rebased. Finally, these guys. See, this is what we're waiting for. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Next impulse, we can move this guy. That will drastically change the situation here. So let's not do anything rash at the moment. Let's do something rash a little bit later. We're moving things into position for a grand offensive against Lille, apparently. I don't know if we'll ever get there. Italy is very passive this turn. Not much reason to do much of anything. Cavaliero's down here. We have some HQ down there. It's all good. And that means that we are done with the impulse. And we can move on to the second side's impulse, the Allied impulse. After this impulse, it will end on a 1. Japan has now officially carried out both its attacks that they have capacity for this turn. So they cannot do anything more. We're going to move this one here. You know what? We can be sneakier than that. No, I'm not going to be sneaky. I'm going to move this one here. I can't move out of that hex just yet. So I guess we can move the 3-2 down here. Just to cover. So that's all the Chinese moves. There's a possibility to sneak around here. But it requires putting the HQ up here. Threatened Andro that way. Lots of walking though. Not anything immediately satisfying, let's just say. So that was the Chinese moves. The Soviets will ship our friend Morozov. Where is he going to be shipped? This guy flip there. Morozov will arrive in Leningrad. Yay! He's been on a train for a long time, that man. Sure, he's happy to be there. Flip. And flip. All sorts of Soviet units flipped. No reason to fret or anything, Finland. No reason to fret at all. Rokossovsky moves there. I think that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's all. That's all she wrote for the Soviets. They had an impulse earlier on that could be used, so let's move some more stuff. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. That's 4. Yep. Like that, maybe. Okay, the French. We can see what's coming here, can't we? And that would be terrible if it happened, so maybe we should move. I can't have that many bombers here, and fighters and everything, so I guess it's like that then. I'm confusing myself again. I don't want to abandon Paris with anything. France will also do a combined, actually. Why not? So we can grab this here stack. They will go to the Bay of Biscay. And then... So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we have a submarine here that I can't really use. That's fine. Where do I want to send that guy? No idea. I activated Brest, so it can go 1, 2, 3, like that. In case the Germans or Italians will get some silly ideas. The British will have to do a naval, I think. We need our ships out there hunting submarines. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not the typical escort ships, you might say, but we don't care. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That's a solid escort right there for our convoys. So that's a naval for the British, because we activated a lot of different naval assets. It's a combined for the French, which means that we can use Béarn here, which is going to be a 1 to just... Oh, they're supposed to be over here, aren't they? What is even going on here with all my counters? What's happening here? Counter chaos. Yeah, so let's like that. Yeah, that's better. We should have all these over here. And yeah, okay. So this one will strike at these guys. And it's a 1. So let's roll the d6. Top 1 is a 1. Let's go. Whoop. Miss. And bottom 1. Miss. Had to try. It was always a long shot, but why not use the assets, right? This also means that we have a lot of shore bombardment to defend Antwerp, should that be necessary. You know what? Germany did a combined with, so they could actually move this one too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like that. Because you can rebase 3 aircraft that are combined. So let's keep that in mind. Yeah, I think that is basically it for France. Except, is it? Maybe not entirely. We have 1, 2, 3. We can move this guy like that. So that if they get through here in Lille, they will have to go out to the Pacific, to the Atlantic coast instead of to towards Paris. Thing is, when they're attacking Lille, it's going to be time to evacuate Antwerp just to bolster the defenses, but I feel like it's a good idea to keep this, because then they can't blitz on this clear hex so easily. So Antwerp is a pretty good foothold there. Do we want to strafe anything? We have no air cover to speak of left. I don't think we want to strafe anything. If anything, we would strafe this hex, right? To make life hard for Manstein and possibly end that entire offensive before it even starts. That's an idea. I would have a 3, so I should be able to flip one of the units, and even 1 means that this attack cannot carry forwards this turn. I guess it could, because we could reorganize with Rommel and so on. Which is true. Okay, so they have 14 plus 13 right now. That is 27, and they have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that one can get there. So they have 12 plus 6. That is 18. So they will get 18 extra bomber factors to go into the attack. But you can only have the same number of bomber factors as you have land factors. So if we can flip one of these guys, then that's twice the number of attack factors that are removed from the possible attack. So I think it might be worth it, actually. And obviously the Germans will try to intercept, so we will go up there and there will be a fight. Which is interesting, because if this is the way it's gonna go, then there won't be any fighters left to stop what's ever gonna go on here. I need to keep this fighter around just to be able to... This fighter can't even get here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So during my aircraft rebase, this one has always been here, not there. During my aircraft rebase segment, I would do that. But aircraft rebase is after I flip something. So it would be like this, +1 to the Germans. Yeah, let's do it, I think. 4. This is not easy to decide. +1 to the Germans. This can go either way. This is like a 50-50 that I get through. But if I get through, it's a good chance to stop the offensive completely. And if I don't get through, then I will have seriously damaged my own capacity to defend this hex from the attack that's coming. Hard decisions to make here, folks. Hard decisions to make. I think we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna do it. Risk it, because it's just such positive impact for succeeding. So let's go. Boom. Okay, I think we have succeeded for the French part. That is an 8 on the +1 for the Luftwaffe, which is nothing. The French lucked out this time. 3 shooting back on a -1, which is DX. Defender destroys. So, wow, the French are just absolutely savaging the Luftwaffe here. That's 2 Luftwaffe units destroyed this turn. And now we're going to roll 3s against Manstein. So the French have to be pleased with that. That's a lot of... They've cost 10 points of money losses already to the Germans this turn. And that's just Luftwaffe stuff. Miss on the first one, so Manstein is fine. Hit on the second one, and miss on the third one. Okay, that's, I don't know, average-ish. But it is the Hermann Goering Corps that is flipped. So maybe, just maybe, they won't be coming through this turn. Now this one I didn't use, and this one is going back here. Alright, that is the French impulse. For the British, they were doing a naval, so I can't really do anything with it. They need to have a combined to be able to do some strategic bombing. And I would like to have... The strategic bombing could go to Düsseldorf, maybe? Yeah, because there is no fighters that could stop them. So that would be lovely. Okay then. But we don't know yet, because we have to roll to see if the turn ends. And it would on a 1. It does not end. 1, 2, 3. Axis side. Alright. The Japanese are always doing combines these days because that's all they are allowed to do. We can move this unit there, for example, and this unit here. That's 2 moves. We can transport Yamashita soon enough. 2 moves, I said. 3, but flips because it's a forest. In Europe, then. There are still paras here as well. Germany, looking at combined or... yeah, no, we're doing a land, aren't we? So if we're gonna roll our dice on this... oh yeah, we can't do it now because the 8-6 is flipped. We can unflip it with Rommel. There isn't a whole lot else to say or do here because, let's face it, Rundstedt can get closer to the action. Whee. I can move those 2 units to Aachen. My para to Düsseldorf. Aircraft crew base there. We need more fighters in the west, definitely. And then I guess I will have to do... I don't have... do I have... I have an air transport. Oh. But will they want to attack the air transport? Yes, they will. Because they have air superiority over France now. The French fighters have air superiority over France, you guys. Huh, this is a little bit... so I guess I'll have to use Rommel to unflip this armored core at the end of the impulse. That's bothersome. Fighters are so needed by Germany right now. And Italy doesn't really have anything left to do at all, so... some shuffling is all we saw there at the end of that impulse. Okay, we will roll to see if the turn ends. It does not. The Allies get to make another impulse. And the Chinese will make full use of that. So we're moving... are we though? Because if anything we should move this communist in here, right? And then we move the nationalist up here, and this nationalist up here. That one flips. So now the communists will be surrounded by nationalists, but on the other hand... I move this one here. That's 10 plus 13. That's 23. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I'm just worried about the flanking one over here, but there isn't a whole lot I can do about that, is there? So, communists surrounded by nationalists. It's fine. They just need to hold out in Xi'an forever. And they have pretty good odds for this, because 8, that's 16 in defense, so... ain't nobody gonna go through there anytime soon. This one is a 10 in defense. There's a 2-1, but it's only the 1 corps, the 1 army, so it's, in that regard, easier to attack. And that will be very bad for the communists. They can't attack this impulse anyway, so it's academic. What we can do, however, is transport. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, only 3 steps. I am a silly man. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, no. 1, 2, 3 to Suvla. Flip that one. And Yamashita is now on the mainland. Why am I moving the Japanese? This is the Allied turn. I don't need coffee, you do. Okay. The British are here, and I do a combined here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we roll for all of these guys against these guys. And that's going to be like ones. Just 3 ones, basically. I need another die. No, that... Did I get another die? I did not get another die. Clone that die. Where did that die end up? Here we go. Okay, so now I have 3... No? There, yeah. There we go. 3 dice. Okay, so... Top on a 1. That's a hit. And bottom on a 1. And that's another hit. Okay. Ooh, the strategic bombardment is done before we do the ground strikes, though. But, yeah, both of these guys are flipped. And we're gonna send this one out to Düsseldorf, I guess. It doesn't really matter. A German factory. There's nothing that can stop them. They have an 8. And they are unintercepted because the Luftwaffe has been absolutely savaged in the air war against France this turn. So... Let's, okay, move the die away, please. Thank you. Yes, like that. Roll. A 6. Oh my goodness. 8. 6. It's not a destroyed factory, but it is 3 points lost. 3 build points lost for Germany from... It's actually 7 because I rolled that high. Still no damage, no destroyed factory, but it was 3 build points destroyed by the bombers that just descend on Düsseldorf and absolutely rain hell down upon them. So I think that was a pretty good round for the British Navy and Royal Air Force, disrupting German units on the front line and absolutely laying waste to... Not completely laying waste, the factory still stands, but very severely disrupting the factory, as it were. Just for funsies, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's basically all we need there. With the Soviets, I guess we could move like that. And just ning this thing over to Siberia. Some troops going that way. Some troops going that way. Yep, that is pretty much it. It's not a very intense turn right now because the stalemate, basically. Let's see if the turn... Ah, not with that die. We're seeing if the turn ends like that. No, it does not. 1, 2... Okay, long turn this time. Unexpectedly long. Axis impulse, it will end on a 4. The axis here will do what? I can move this one here, for example, into the front lines properly. We're nicely packed here. I'd love to move that HQ here so I can move, but it's not going to matter a whole lot because as long as I don't have... Like, okay, that's what it's going to matter. Okay, so I had to move that one for 2 there. But this is 11, and this is 10, so this is a better place to attack, isn't it? Which suggests to me that this is pretty much as good as I'm going to get it. 13 plus 12. Yeah. We'll see. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon because next weather is going to be winter and horrible. But that's it. Oh, and this is the Japanese impulse. So now I get to move Yamashita to the mainland. Boom. There. Yes. I'm not confused in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so Germany managed to unflip that unit. We now have the final moment for this turn to decide on whether or not to attack on this spot here. And since it's the last clear hex, clear weather impulse we're going to get in a while, but we also know that they're going to get 6 and more in defense, so it's 11 plus 6 because I don't have any air force to stop them. That's 17 in defense, which is a lot. Now there's going to be plus 6 in defense wherever I attack because they are there. So I have 14 plus 13. 13. And then I get the extra... that's 27. Plus the extra 13, 18 there. So that's 45. And I could throw in... No, I cannot. Well, I guess I could, because I will have those to cover that. How does that even work? I don't remember. Power drop. Is that on a... Oh, it's probably on a different sequence. Yeah, so let's not do that, because... I don't know if the French would attack the air transport. What? I'm not gonna wait around to find out. So, 45 against 17 is 2 to 1, with a +1 on the attack table, on the assault table. So I'm not gonna lose 2. And I should be able to kill one of the French. 50-50%, I don't lose anything for myself. It's a terrible odds table, absolutely. But every turn that we go, the French will just have that much more of a chance to get British reinforcements, and we don't like that much. So, I guess we're doing this. Like that. Now the French have to decide if they're going to intercept these guys or not. If I had 49 against 17, that would make no difference at all. So my paras are useless at this particular time. We do want to shoot down some German tactical bombers that are... Which means that there are no fighters. These are going to get through. No German fighters. And then we'll see if the Germans, with their 4-5 plus 2 against the French Air Force, will be able to get through. This is probably the foolish attack I've ever done, but we're gonna do it anyway. Okay, 6 versus... Oh my god. Look at the French rolls. 6 on a +2 is attacker clears through. 3, was it a 3? I think it was a 3. 3 on a -2 is still amazing. DX, defender destroys anyone tactical bomber. That's 15 points of Luftwaffe losses so far this turn. That's horrible. I thought I would get through there, but no. 6 and a 7. Okay, 6 on... it's not a +2 anymore, is it? It's equal. 6 on a 0 is attacker clears through. They don't have anything to clear through. 7 on... They do. 7 on... that's defender clears through. So one of the bombers get through. It's definitely going to be this one. So I guess we have 1 each now. And then... +1 for the French against -1 for the Germans. That's a 4 for both. Total annihilation in the air. +1 for the French. Attacker aborts. Okay. Attacker aborts. Defenders bomber. Okay. And a +2. Plus it was a 4. Attacker aborts. Okay. So both of them are aborted. Yeah, this one would go home in that case. And this one goes home. And then this one goes home as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So net we have a slightly different situation here. We have 14 in defense. Yeah, the paradox is decided before. With 14 plus 13. 14 plus 13 plus 7. 34 divided in 14. That is 2-to-1 odds. Manstein will roll to increase that odds to something better, like a 3-to-1. And he succeeds, which is not surprising. So it's a 3-to-1 on the assault table with a +1 modifier. And I roll a 3, which is not particularly impressive, but it's something. 1 each. That was a big lot of effort for very little payoff. I think the French have to be satisfied with that. What is that? That is my 6-3. Oh, we're gonna kill off that one. So the French lose an infantry. The Germans lose an infantry. Which is what we expected, isn't it? Everything is flipped. So that is 3 flipped units. But we do have Kesselring who can unflip everything that got flipped. Except Manstein, of course. I'm not anticipating getting another go at this. But if we do get another go at this, we might just be able to take Lille. Though I can see the reinforcements coming right here. So yeah, that Lille stands after determined German attacks. And it's mostly because of the French Air Force, I think. Let's see if the turn ends. It does. End of turn. Alright. That was intense. Partisan phase. 6. Greece, UK, Finland, France, Netherlands, French Indochina, Philippines, and China. Okay. That is only China, really. And here we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So Japan rolls 1 to 4 to suppress. And fails. Japan loses 1 money. France loses 1. Germany loses 3. There's the strategic effects here on various activities. It adds up. Convoy attack phase. Yeah, we have one of those. Unfortunately for Germany, they're going to have a -3 on the convoy attack, isn't they? Or, no, -2, because that's how we get all the escorts in. So it's going to be 4, 5, 6 escorts against 5 subs. So we have 5 subs, 6 escorts, and a -2 on the die roll. That's not so good. We just... Oh, look at that. They are lucking out here. 4 in total. 5 subs, 6 escorts, 4 on the die roll. That is 1 destroyed sub, however. That was not what we wanted to roll. 1 destroyed sub. 2 resources lost for the Commonwealth, though. So the Commonwealth also loses resources this time. A sub destroyed. So 2 lost resources for the Commonwealth. US entry phase. We have now France, the Commonwealth, and China at war. That's 3 countries, 3 democracies. So that's +2. And then we have, it's 1939, so we have +2 for the years as well. So that is +4, -1 because Japanese 6. So a +3 on together. I roll an 8. That's 11. And that gives us a +3, which is a +4 in total, because the president has vetoed the Neutrality Act. +4, are we putting it against Germany or Japan? Put it against Japan. So, the US entry against Japan is now a 90 in unmodified. Modified, it's a 25. Against Germany, also a 25. Against Italy, a 17. Minus 17. That is what we have there at the moment. I don't think I want to do any particular US entry action this time either. So we have production phase. Yeah, about that. 6 money to the US. Minus 1, but I think we have some stuff. May, June 42. We don't have to start building that one yet. But there might be some stuff here. November, December 42. That's fine, I can wait. Ha! The US does not have to build anything there. So let's just recuperate the losses, shall we? We're building nothing again because it's just been so hurting lately. Okay, the Commonwealth is having 24 resources, lost 2 resources at sea, but because it only has so many factories, that is not actually going to affect its production. So the 21 production comes through anyway. On the other hand, it was minus 9 there, so we will have a plus 12 money, which is not nearly enough for anything good to happen. November, December 41. Yeah, we don't have to build that one yet. These guys, 42, 43, yeah, don't have to build that yet. Good. So what do we want to do with the British? An aircraft would not go amiss. And I think we're going to make it another fighter. Only have 2 left to build. Oh, we also have air transports. Not to forget. Let's build one of those, actually. It's 5. They are very handy to have, particularly when you want to transport an HQ, for example. Air transport there, air transport. So that counts as an aircraft. I guess we could build an infantry on top of that. Can't harm none. An Indian infantry. An absolutely useless Indian infantry. Yay. I guess we could ship that to the desert or something eventually. Okay, France. Minus 9 money. 10 production per turn. I lost 1 because of the attack, so that's 9. So they're going to have 0 money, which is terrible. 4 bid points, though. Yeah, I don't really see... Actually, they do not have all that, because they don't get the resource from Norway anymore. So yeah, that's a 9 production right now. Anyway, yeah, do they have any infantry to build? Yes, they do. They have to build that infantry. That's the rule. So, minus 4, definitely. No choice about that part at all. French will build infantry when they can. And the Germans, 23 production per turn, which is a lie because they got pummeled in Düsseldorf by the British Air Force. So it is 20 instead, which puts us to plus 10 after everything is said and done. Yeah. Plus 10. And we need Air Force, we need all sorts of stuff. But instead of building any of that, I'm going to spend 15 on an offensive chit. So right down to minus 5. And we're going to grab an offensive chit that the Germans are building, and I think that takes 3 turns to get through. So there we go, offensive chit for Germans. 1, 2, 3, yeah. I'm gonna put a German marker on it so we remember, though I don't think there is any reason why we would forget. An offensive chit allows Germany to... It's basically stockpiling a lot of ammo, fuel, all the things you need for an offensive, and by that way doubling the attack value of a lot of the units involved. So it's going to be very much needed, very much appreciated. The Germans will also build... last time they built 3 infantry. That's not going to happen this time. They will build no armor, no infantry, but they will definitely build an Air Force 1 fighter because, man, we need that. Was that really the what? Did I really shuffle that? I don't know that I shuffled that. There we go. Shuffle properly. Now I pulled one out. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, yeah, German economy is in a bit of a jam here, but I think that offensive chit is going to really pay off in the long run. So, yeah, we just really need to get the Air Force up and running for the Germans. Speaking of Air Forces, I know a country that doesn't have much of one. They have 7 production, we get 9 money. We do not have to build that one yet. We do have no light surface ships there. Interesting. The Italians, what they need above all is really an army. So no ships this time. 2 infantry and maybe an Air Force, maybe a fighter. Not 2 infantry. That's going to be it. They are very not glorious. 4 3s, but that's what you get from Italy. They are not famed for their amazing troops. Yeah. USSR has 9 money. And the gearing limit was what on their stuff? 1 infantry. Okay, let's build 2. Why not? We're not building an armor this turn. We're just building all the infantry. That is classic mission for the USSR. Yeah, the Siberians are coming. Good, the Siberians are. That's why we did the non-Monhan incident, to get access to those. And then we have China has 6 money coming in, so 7 money in total. How about we build an HQ and an infantry? We haven't built an HQ in ages. Oh, that's Stillwell. Not what I expected. And an infantry. It's a communist, which is actually not a bad thing right now, because they need some extra reinforcements in the line there. Stillwell, huh? He is probably the worst HQ on the board. And the Chinese will want to build more aircraft later on, but for now, that's what we got. Okay. Unless we... No. Japan hasn't built anything yet. Let's go. Japan, production 12, money 12. November, December 40. This one has to be, the hull has to be laid down now. And this is a battleship group. Yamato and Musashi, aren't they lovely? The largest battleships ever made are coming. They are coming. The hulls will be laid down now. Leaves us with 6 money left. How much infantry do I have to build? 3. It's not a whole lot. I'm gonna need them, of course. 1 more air transport to build. No armor left. No Marines left. More tactical bombers to build. Fighters to build. One more HQ to build. Lots of light surface to build. Yeah, those light surface will really come in handy once the Americans arrive. Is there anything here that needs to get in? January, February 42, so nope. July, August 41, so nope. How many ships did we build with Japan last time? Okay, so we can actually build 2 ships. So let's do that. Shuffled and drawn. That's an excellent light surface. Long range, good ship to ship factor. So that is 4 money. And then we will build an infantry, because that's 3 money. And it's a 7-4. And there we are. That would be the entire build. Return to base. Nobody's going to be surprised to hear that submarines are coming back. We're sending the fleets back to where they came from, essentially. I could leave these guys out here just to be annoying to the Germans in case they get any funky ideas with that Kriegsmarine of theirs. I don't think they will, but you never know, right? And the French will return to port. They can't coordinate, but they can look at each other and wave as they go by. And that was it as far as Navy goes. There's nothing there. So I guess we just unflip everything. Can you believe that the Luftwaffe is down to 2 fighters? That is pretty brutal. And 1 strategic bomber gone. Can't afford these kinds of losses in the long run with Germany. And they didn't even get the chance to attack into Lille another time. No, it's not going to matter because they're just going to put the new... No, that takes 2 turns to get it. So if the Germans get the initiative in January, February, and it's not bad weather, then Lille is likely to fall. If not, then it's World War I all over again, isn't it? At least until the spring thaw comes, or such. It was a very costly term for Germany, with 1 infantry, 1 strategic bomber, I think 1 tactical bomber, and a fighter. That was very expensive for Germany. And if they keep bleeding like that, they are going to lose the war. There's no doubt about that. So maybe next turn they can do better. For now, I am just unflipping everything here. Look at Morozov in Leningrad. Isn't it lovely? I'm sure he's happy about that. And such a nice weather too. Even though it's December, it's just, I think it's muddy where he is. So rain. Uncharacteristically warm for being Russia in December. And we unflip all. The French Air Force carried such a load this time and did so well. I think the French magazines are writing so many articles about their brave heroes in the air. When these pilots walk through Paris on their leave from the front lines, when they get in leave because they have been so busy, they will be swarmed by fans, and I'm sure they're going to be happy about that. And I think that is all the units I had to unflip. We had a transport here that was used. It's no longer. We had... Is there any other? I don't think so. Oh yeah, this one down here. We didn't actually move the New Zealanders at all because I completely forgot about them. But that's okay. We're not at war yet, so... So, yes, that is where we are at the end of November, December. My friends, thank you so much for tuning in, for keeping track of, keeping me company here while the front line in France is just absolutely gridlocked, apparently. But the offensive chit is on the way, and I think that might make a difference when the spring comes. Until then, we will continue to follow this turn by turn. Though when we get back to spring, I think I'm going to start chopping up the streams because we're getting to a point where each turn will take too long to cover in a single stream. But this time, we have covered a turn, and this is me signing off. Have a good night, everyone.